Ever thought about the last time you dropped food on the floor? Did you pick it up and eat it, convincing yourself that it was still safe because you acted fast? If so, you're not alone. The infamous 5-second rule has been a tradition for many, making us feel a little better about indulging in that tasty morsel that slipped from our grasp. But is there any scientific backing to this belief? Does the 5-second rule actually hold up? Let's dive into this delicious dilemma and uncover the truth about what really happens when food hits the floor. First, let's talk about the origins of the 5-second rule. The concept has been around for years, passed down through generations as a sort of survival tactic for the accidental dropping of food. Whether you call it a rule or just a guideline, we've all heard that if you pick up food within 5 seconds of dropping it, it's still good to eat. But where did this idea even come from? It seems to be a blend of superstition and a little bit of wishful thinking. Many people have embraced it as a way to justify what they eat, all while maintaining an illusion of cleanliness and caution. But here's the kicker. Do you really believe that timing is the only factor when it comes to food contamination? Think about it for a second. Food doesn't become magically safe just because you manage to scoop it up within 5 seconds. Various factors influence whether or not food can be contaminated, including the type of food, the surface it drops onto, and the cleanliness of that surface. Let's explore what science has to say about the 5-second rule. Several studies have investigated this topic, and, spoiler alert, the results may surprise you. One experiment conducted by researchers at Rutgers University in 2016 put the rule to the test. They dropped different foods like watermelon and bread on various surfaces, ranging from tile to carpet, and allowed them to sit for different lengths of time, up to 30 seconds. The results were quite revealing. It turned out that bacteria transferred to food almost instantaneously, often within the first few seconds. So much for that 5-second buffer. Now, this might leave you wondering, what types of bacteria are we talking about here? Well, think of it this way. Common germs found in your home, such as E. coli and Salmonella, can easily hitch a ride on your dropped food. These bacteria are no joke. They can lead to foodborne illness, which can make you seriously sick. It's unsettling to think that our humble kitchen floor could be a breeding ground for harmful microorganisms. But hold on a minute. Not all surfaces are created equal. You might feel more comfortable dropping a piece of bread on your clean kitchen counter than on the bathroom floor. The surface texture plays a vital role in whether bacteria cling to food or not. Smooth surfaces like tiles or stainless steel may transfer germs more quickly than textured surfaces. Meanwhile, if food lands on a carpet, the risk of contamination might be lower simply because less bacteria can adhere to the food. It's fascinating, isn't it? So maybe, just maybe, your living room floor is a safer place for that apple slice than you thought. Still, feeling a little queasy at the thought of eating what's just fallen? You're not alone. And it might be wise to think about the type of food you're dropping. Foods that are moist and sticky, like slices of soft fruit or sauces, are likely to pick up more bacteria than dry items, such as crackers or candies. So, if you drop a piece of chocolate or a potato chip, there might be less risk involved compared to dropping that precious slice of leftover pizza with gooey cheese. Speaking of risk, it's essential to acknowledge that the 5-second rule has a bit of a social dimension too. Have you ever stopped to think about the mental game we play with ourselves when it comes to food hygiene? There's something about that 5-second window that provides a comforting reassurance. It's as if we're negotiating with our own appetite, reminding ourselves that it's okay to indulge, even if conventionally, we know better. And here's a thought-provoking question for you. Does the 5-second rule also reflect a deeper societal issue? Maybe it's our way of grappling with the anxieties around food waste and perfection. In a world where we're constantly told to strive for cleanliness and hygiene, could it be that people hang on to this rule as a way to cling to those comfort foods without feeling guilt? So what should we take away from this? Is the 5-second rule a harmless excuse, or is it a lingering risk we should all avoid? Ultimately, you might find that it's less about the rule itself and more about individual choices, whether you're willing to risk a bit of bacteria for that bite of food you love. Now, let's take a moment to consider alternatives. If you're someone who frequently drops food, maybe it's time to rethink your approach. Consider investing in food covers, or designate a food drop zone in your kitchen so you can control what's going on the floor. Alternatively, embrace the age-old art of the trash can dance. If it hits the floor, it goes right into the bin. Sure, it might feel wasteful, but those earned moments of gastronomic discipline could save you the discomfort and anxiety of wondering what's crawling on that slice of cake. And if you're ever in doubt about where that food's been, there's always the perfectly valid approach of following your instincts. If you wouldn't eat food dropped in the restroom, chances are you shouldn't indulge in that half-fallen croissant either. Bottom line, if it's questionable, just don't do it. As we wrap up this exploration of the 5-second rule, it's essential to remember that knowledge is power. Awareness of what happens when we drop food can help us make better choices. The reality is that while the 5-second rule holds a certain charm and nostalgia, it doesn't shield us from the invisible threats lurking on our floors. So next time you find yourself debating whether to eat off the floor, remember this discussion. Use your best judgment, stay clean, and maybe leave that fallen snack behind. Thanks for joining us today in this exploration of food safety and the 5-second rule. Until next time, keep those snacks off the floor and maintain your kitchen sanity.